Hello, movie lovers. Welcome back to the Apocaflix Movie News Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Bartley, and I'm here again with Gio Ramos. What's up, man?
Doing good. Holiday season, got our coffee here. Jacob. I love it when I bring people together. It's so amazing.
Oh, my goodness.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and it's raining outside here in Sacramento, so that's nice. And we're also here with Jake Berlin. What's up, man?
I'm good, it's kind of under the weather, so if you hear that my voice is a little weird, it's because
I
I'm
think
a little
literally
sick.
everyone on planet Earth is sick right now.
I think you two are trying to
I have a little cough. Everyone in my house is sick. Everyone at work is sick. Everyone's sick.
But hey, it's not going to stop me from talking movies.
Heck no. So we got something really exciting to talk about today. But before we get into that, we're going to go over some of the small news stories going around in the movie news world. So Gio will bring us into that. What do we have first?
First one's a big one. We have Entertainment Weekly. Their latest issue focuses on Captain America's Civil War, gentlemen. The front cover of the issue features Black Panther, Captain America, Iron Man. And then we have several interviews featuring quotes from Downey, Chris Evans, from Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther. And are the Russos in there too as well, Jake?
Not that I know of yet, but with these magazine stuff, they spread it out over days.
Probably tomorrow we'll get something.
So at some point we're gonna, because the magazine hasn't hit shelves yet.
Uh-huh.
So Entertainment Weekly's they're gonna do it by days, just like Empire does or something like that. So at some point over the next few days, I'm sure we'll get something from the Russos. Actually, now that I think about it, there was a quote where they said that they think of the movie as a fight at a family wedding. Like that's what they were quoted as calling it.
Oh.
Like I think I saw that on Twitter somewhere. So look out for that interview, or maybe it comes out later on. But I think that's what I saw on Twitter.
That makes sense, actually.
So
because
I think that's the only quote from the Russos themselves. But everything else, I'm sure we'll see it at some point.
Well, what stands out for you guys as far as the photos, the quotes, the cover? Jake, why don't you start since you wrote up everything beautifully?
I'm gonna start with the cover. In the article, I didn't mention it because it's the worst cover ever for a magazine.
You mentioned it a little bit. You were like, "Let's not talk about the cover
I said,
forever."
Yeah, I said
and you were
forever,
like, and you mentioned the two things that bothered you the most.
Yeah, so the image itself is fine. Like it's cool. I mean, we get to see the three biggest heroes in this movie on the cover.
Well, and it has Black Panther in the middle, which is like a symbol. He's in the middle of the whole issue.
We had talked about this. He's going to be taking up the Spider-Man role in this movie from the comic book. But when Entertainment Weekly puts the quote or the word "meow" to Black Panther's head, that is like so degrading to this character. Like he's obviously probably the most unknown character going into this movie, but for what fans don't know is, he is one of the best Marvel characters, period. It's hard to believe, but he is described as being the Batman of the Marvel Universe. Like, that's who he is. And to put Meow next to him is so degrading to him. It's quite embarrassing, actually, for Entertainment Weekly to do it. Like, it just sucks seeing it. It takes away from the entire, cover of it. Like, these magazine covers, they come out all the time, and they're kind of like almost an event. Like, we wait, when's this magazine going to do this cover? Just like Star Wars did or Empire did for Star Wars. And it sucks that they kind of ruined it by saying meow next to it, but they also said something about a housewife, which I don't remember the exact quote because I didn't put the cover
I remember
on it.
What it said.
Well,
they said something before it, and then it said he has claws that housewives would envy.
Right. See that?
Claws that housewives would envy.
It's
Really?
terrible. That's so bad. Like, that's almost worse as meow, but that takes away from the entire cover, and it kind of sucks because those two characters standing together looks very cool. But for the article itself, I really like what Tony Stark was saying. Robert Downey Jr. was saying about his character.
He is Tony Stark.
Exactly. That's why I said it. About how he actually completely agrees with Tony Stark and the way he's going, and why he's doing this and whatnot, because he sees himself as someone who has messed up and he doesn't want it to happen again and stuff like that. But I really like what I'm hearing from Black Panther. All the stuff that came out from him or about him, and about how we made the trailer kind of almost made it feel like he is on Iron Man's side, but from these quotes, he doesn't have a side. Like, he's fighting for himself because he is the king of Wakanda. Like, he has a whole nation behind him, and he's doing what he can to protect that nation and preserve what they're all about.
Well, it's interesting because the whole issue is the government's trying to control vigilante superheroes, right? And even though maybe Black Panther doesn't look at himself as a superhero or a vigilante, he just wears that armor to fight and protect his nation.
And I feel like
the governments might go after him like, oh, you're a superhero too. We're going to try to control you.
Well,
so
I also feel like
on
maybe,
that side, he'd fall on Cap's side.
like at some point, something may happen near Wakanda or in Wakanda that brings him into the fold.
Yeah.
Most likely something that has to do with Bucky Barnes. Like I think that's how we get, like, maybe Black
Well, we
Panther's
see him
coming
chasing
after.
him in the trailer.
We think
so.
he's after Bucky Barnes at some point, and the only way to get him is to be joining Tony Stark's side. But I mean, you go up on the site and read the whole article. There's some great stuff in there. Like we see at some point Black Panther and Captain America, they're chasing each other. They're gonna fight. They're gonna come to some awesome blows, and it's gonna be a great fight.
Mm-hmm.
But the two actors, Boseman and Evans, both said that they are extremely similar. Like these two characters, probably the most similar in the movie. Because of their morals and their values.
Well,
and
Steve
what they
Rogers
fight
and
for.
T'Challa, like their human counterparts.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Not inside the suits.
Yeah.
When they're outside the suits.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole article is great, and we kind of get some more clearance on what the role of Black Panther is now. Because I mean, obviously, other than the big fight at the end of the trailer, Black Panther was the wow factor of the trailer. So now we get some kind of backing of it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Jacob.
look, I love the fact that they're doing a marketing push for Black Panther pretty much. They're trying to get him out there, get him in the public conscious, try to make sure everyone is aware that this character exists. But I almost cursed, but they ruined their own cover. Whoever came up with the meow and the housewives thing should be fired and should never make a magazine cover ever again, because it's totally ridiculous. I don't really I don't subscribe to any magazines. Jake, do they usually do stupid things like this on EW?
No, I mean, Entertainment Weekly.
Like, do they do little funny things on all their covers?
They do some things like here and there, but they've never done anything like this for this big of a movie. Like the funny thing is that they would never do this for Star Wars. They would never do this for Batman or Superman. So it's like,
I'm curious. Does Marvel have a say on how they see that?
No, it's all
exactly.
EW. It's all EW.
Because what they're doing is, while I'm happy that they're that Marvel and they're trying to push Black Panther, this is not going to make people respect or like Black Panther.
Not
you
at
have
all.
meow next to his mouth. It's almost like they're doing a spoof of Black Panther. That's what it looks like. Like with the meow and the housewives comments, so freaking unbelievably stupid.
And
in my
know
opinion.
that this character, he's no spoof. Like,
Not at all.
Like,
He's a badass.
For comic fans, you know that he's part of the Marvel Illuminati, and the Marvel Illuminati is the most powerful, intelligent, badass characters in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
That doesn't
And,
include Captain America. He's not part of that. Doctor Strange is. I think Iron Man is some point too, but the fact that Black Panther's in there, and actually, I think he leads it.
It's all the smart guys,
He's like,
all
that's
the
how
rich,
big of a
smart
character
guys.
he is. Like, that's how big of a character he
And
is.
he's just, like, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week. Like, if everyone put down all their weapons and their suits, and everyone just fought like hand on hand combat, he will whoop everyone's ass.
Well, yeah,
Like,
all he has is, he has the claws and everything, but he's hand to hand. It's all him.
yeah, exactly. So, maybe he doesn't have super strength without the suit, but just hand-on-hand combat, he can take on anyone in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So know that Black Panther is not a joke. But so yeah, I hated the cover, just the wording, not the visuals. The visuals were whatever. But there's so many things in the article. I really liked just the way they're going with Black Panther and how he's going to be a bigger character in this movie than I thought, because I knew he was going to have an important part, but I didn't think they would go as far into their character as it looks like they're going to. But the thing that stood out to me the most was, it's funny how I don't know who said it. I think Kevin Feige said how they were trying to come up with a character,
A third party,
like
yes.
Black Panther. And
Yeah.
he said that they kept saying it in their meetings. We need to find a character like Black Panther to be the third party. And then somebody came out and said, why don't we just do Black Panther? And that might have been the greatest idea someone at Marvel ever came up with, because he's the perfect character for this role, especially because if you try to do it with Spider-Man, it wouldn't work. He's a kid.
Because he's not introduced yet and he's too young.
He's a kid right now. He's irrelevant. He wouldn't even be able to make that decision right now. He's not even an adult. So Black Panther is the perfect character to fit into that role, and I'm so glad they chose him. So that's what stood out to me.
Yeah, well, I think Marvel had a plan once upon a time to include Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in Civil War, because if we remember, Sony and Marvel were talking about including the Avengers Tower on the New York skyline.
In the Amazing Spider-Man, right? The first one?
Right.
Well, and they were going to have the Oscorp Tower in Avengers.
Yeah. And then flash forward a few short time later, their whole plan, because they didn't have Spider-Man, was to include Black Panther heavily. You know, he was going to be Spider-Man's replacement. Obviously, they had a contingency plan once Spider-Man, went over to the MCU. He'll still have a small part, but it'll mainly be Black Panther.
I think Black Panther's going to keep that role that they always intended him to.
I'm glad it's Black Panther.
Because like you had mentioned to Kevin Feige, he said they want to give him an arc.
Right.
Because his movie, like a lot of people don't know, besides us who do this every day, his movie comes out in 2018. Like, they want to give him an arc to set him off to be a future heavy character.
Because
in this
he's
universe.
a character that needs a little push to get him in public awareness, because nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, he doesn't.
General fans have no idea who Black Panther is.
As far as I remember, he's not a character who runs his own comic book in the comic book arcs of Marvel. Like, he doesn't have his own issues.
For example, my younger brother, he loves superhero stuff. He's into it just as much as I am. And when we watched the Civil War trailer, he said, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
And so that's just a prime example of how people don't know who
Well, that's
he
the
is.
cool thing, though, because a lot of people don't know who he is, but they have that reaction.
They're excited
it's
about
starting
him
to build.
because he
like,
looks
this character's starting to
badass.
build.
Like, who's this guy? Yeah.
It's starting to build, yeah.
Yeah, and these Entertainment Weekly covers, they don't surprise me. I mean, we're talking about the guys. Do you guys remember those Terminator Genesis covers that they did?
Those were bad.
They did those too.
Those are the same people, yeah.
Disrespectful, kind of.
It's terrible. But what stood out to me was Robert Downey Jr.'s comments about being the antagonist and how he wholeheartedly agrees with Tony Stark's action.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Taking the government side, putting these superheroes in check. Tony Stark, he's been on this decline ever since
the Avengers.
After the first Avengers film.
Yeah.
We see him handling PTSD in Iron Man 3. He nearly loses Pepper Potts, the love of his life. And then in Age of Ultron, he just does the unthinkable and, creates artificial intelligence and whatnot. And
Marvel has put him on a really cool path.
Yeah.
A really cool path, setting him to, I think this was always part of their plan. To do this.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. In the first Avengers movie, Cap and Tony are not getting along
I think
all.
this is what they were like. I feel like Civil War was always planned to be an Avengers movie.
Remember, put on the suit.
Well, I feel like Civil War was always planned to be an Avengers movie, but the fact that the Winter Soldier was so good and that Joss Whedon wanted to do the Ultron, that they're like, okay, I think Captain America the franchise fits a Civil War movie better.
Well, and the way to use Bucky as a catalyst to get that
so
storyline going,
yeah.
And it makes it personal too. It's not just a huge event,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, Tony Stark, I think. Well, how many of us are predicting that he's gonna die in
Civil War?
Infinity War.
Oh,
I think he is.
I think in Infinity War.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I won't even rule out it happening in Civil War. But I think the movie that's going to happen is
Infinity War Part 2.
Part 1.
Really?
I think he'll die in Part 1.
Is Spider-Man before Infinity War Part 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought Spider-Man was after, so
I think he'll die in Part 1.
Because I think he is going to be in Spider-Man. I think he is.
I think so too. I think he'll
Even
die.
if it's a small role.
I think he'll die in I think both him and Cap will be in it. But anyway, I think he'll die in Part 1, which will bring Steve Rogers out of hiding to fight in Part 2.
Will Tony Stark redeem himself in Civil War? Because ever since he's been on this decline.
Redeem?
Well, I mean, for lack of a better word.
That's hard because
we don't know how Civil War
who's in the wrong?
It depends on which side you're kind of going for.
You could say Tony Stark hasn't done anything wrong. Like, I mean, created Ultron, but...
Well, that's pretty wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's already kind of redeeming himself by working with the government to try to control these superheroes.
You have to see how the events play out.
Right.
Like, yes, he's fighting for the government, and we don't like that he's fighting against Captain America and all these characters, but it's not just him. There's other characters that are joining him, but we have to see how the events play out. And, like, does something happen in the middle of the movie where we're like, okay, Tony Stark went full bad, or do we get that point of view of him, or like, We just kind of have to wait and
But
see like
even
what
through
happens.
all his mistakes, he never intended to do anything bad.
Exactly.
He's trying to do good.
Exactly. Does
Yeah.
something
So I don't
happen in
think
this movie that
I don't think he
intends
has to
do?
redeem himself.
Well, does something happen in this movie where he intends to do it? Like we have to wait and see. I
See
guess.
that they might make make him a villain in this movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, he might lose it considering what we saw from War Machine.
Exactly. Like that
him
might trigger
lying
something
there, and he's just
Yep.
yeah. The only other thing I'll mention is that one of the quotes confirmed that William Hurt is U.S. Secretary of State Thunderbolt Ross. That confirms he took a promotion, which I don't know if you guys remember in the last podcast, I had a problem with that because we're talking about the guy who created the Abomination and, totally went AWAC,
But-
on everyone.
but
Like we said, that was 10 years ago in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So he could have came a long way.
yeah, but I mean, I
It's
don't
not like
buy
it's
it.
2 years after Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, like think about like during the Avengers and stuff. Tony Stark's or during the Incredible Hulk is like, we're putting a team together, blah blah blah. We don't know what happened after that, obviously, but maybe after the Avengers, they call him and be like, look, we need something. Like you know how to handle this. You've been around the Hulk. You've met Tony Stark. Like, what do we do? And maybe the government just they fell to his knees and we need your help or something.
And if
Maybe
you think
he is
about
changed.
it, during the Incredible Hulk, the world wasn't this crazy. Like they didn't have an alien invasion. Superheroes weren't really around in the public. So back then it was a big deal. And now, like you just said, he has experience dealing with crazy stuff going on. So why wouldn't you want a guy who's been through this already?
Well, he's like a Nick Fury in the actual government.
Yeah,
Not just
he has
secret shield.
experience dealing with these superheroes and stuff. So he's kind of the best guy to have that job. Honestly.
Yeah, I guess by default.
We just have to wait and see. And he's the one
Don't
character.
talk crap about.
Well, he's the one
Thunderbolt Ross.
character. They're not going to release a ton about him
Red
because
Hulk.
he's not.
Red Hulk. No, I'm just kidding.
He's not one of the characters that we want to know about very much.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on the shelf until the movie was released. So we won't know until May.
Well, I mean, speaking of the guy for the best job, let's talk about Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. So, Steven Spielberg spoke to Screen Daily and talked about how it's not his intention to ever have another actor be in the Indiana Jones role. That for him, as long as he's doing Indiana Jones films, it will be Harrison Ford.
Who said that?
Steven Spielberg.
Oh, wow.
And this comes right after there was a article, I don't know if you guys read it, about over 2,500 actors
For Han Solo.
tested for a young Han Solo. Obviously, Lucasfilm is looking to one day replace the roles made famous by Harrison Ford. What do you guys think? Should Harrison Ford be the last Indiana Jones? How should they take care of the Indiana Jones character?
I mean, it's hard to say because, Han Solo is he's probably the more popular of the two, I think. I think he's more favored by fans a lot just because, he's Han Solo.
And it's in Star Wars.
Exactly.
So
Well,
it's-
I don't know about that.
But no, I'm not giving, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark is my second favorite movie of all time. So I love the character. I love what it's all about. But maybe Spielberg means that they're not ever going to actually recast, they're not going to recast him, but that maybe they won't recast him while Ford's alive. Maybe they do it once he's passed on to kind of honor his legacy, because he is Indiana Jones. He's coming back as Han Solo. He's the only Han Solo we knew or know. They obviously have to recast him because they're doing a prequel to him,
Yeah.
his own prequel story. But they'll never give him a prequel story unless they go back to the same age that he was back in the originals, which then you would have to recast him. So, I want more Indiana Jones movies. I'm cool with them recasting it as long as they go back to the 40s and 50s where he's fighting Nazis and not freaking aliens. But maybe we're not getting the full picture of what Spielberg is saying. Maybe they're not going to do anything with Indiana Jones until Ford has passed on or is done with Star Wars or whatever it is, just to kind of honor him, because maybe they hold him as Indiana Jones in more regard than him as Han Solo, because he's the head of it. Han Solo's not really the head of Star Wars, He's just a character. Indiana Jones is the title name. So it's
Yeah, I get how they're doing the Han Solo prequel because their story to tell with before. But how further back can you go with Indiana Jones? I mean, he was pretty young in the.
He was probably in his 30s, early to mid 30s. You'd have to go back to the same time period. You can't go beforehand. So we saw that already.
If you cast someone to play younger, you only have so much story to tell before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You put out a freaking movie like every 2 years, so there's plenty of options.
But what happened in between 3 and 4, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of options.
Or you could even do what happened between 1 and 2.
Oh, I mean, for Han Solo, for Han Solo, there's definitely stories.
No, I'm talking about.
No, well,
I'm talking about Indiana Jones.
We only saw 3 of his adventures. Well, 4, I guess. But 3 in the time period we want to see.
You can tell stories what happened in between those.
Yeah, okay, you can. So what do you think about it, Jacob? What's your whole approach to?
Well, look, I really enjoy the Indiana Jones franchise. But it's not my favorite. Like, I don't love it like you.
Oh my god, I freaking adore the hell out of it.
I like it. I watched them dozens of times as a kid.
They're great movies. Yeah.
They're great, and I really enjoyed them. But it's not one of my top 5 franchises of all time. It's just not my thing. So I don't have like a personal issue with this. So, and look, Steven Spielberg is the greatest director of all time, period. But he doesn't have to direct the Indiana Jones films. So he can say that all he wants. They're going to bring in another director and recast him. Maybe they do one more with Harrison Ford and with Spielberg. And then after that, and then the next one, I doubt Spielberg is going to direct 2 or 3 more. I could see him directing 1 more.
Well, maybe he's stubborn like George Lucas,
how much he doesn't have any control over it. Yeah. Disney owns it, right?
Well, that wouldn't be a bad.
It came over Lucasfilm, but we don't know. Maybe he does have some kind of control over it.
But you can't just be like, I'm never doing it unless it's Harrison Ford.
Well, what if it's like the situation with Ridley Scott and Alien?
Yeah,
this could be a very similar situation.
We don't know. But all I'm saying is, I'm totally fine with them. They're going to recast it.
At some point. Yeah, they are.
At some point,
so,
yeah, they are.
Yeah, I'm fine with either one. I wouldn't mind seeing
Chris Pratt.
I wouldn't mind seeing another Indiana Jones with Harrison Ford. I would like them to do one where they have Harrison Ford and then they do flashbacks to the younger Indiana Jones.
To introduce him.
And then you have that same actor continue on the arc for the next 2 or 3 films. I think that would be totally fine. So, yeah, either way, I'm cool with it.
Here's my thing. I'm less worried about them recasting for Indiana Jones and more worried about how they're going to handle Indiana Jones going forward.
Just the character in general, no matter who's playing him, right?
And the films, honestly.
Well, they have to go back to the original time period.
I don't want these films to be fun. I want these films to be good, because one thing we can...
And fun.
Fun, sure, but I feel like fun is a term that...
Well,
a lot of people are
adventurous.
Adventurous, but I want it to be on the same level of films as the first 3 were. The 4th one you could say was fun because you're seeing Indiana Jones, you're seeing Harrison Ford. It's there's a whole lot of ridiculousness, but you're still having fun because.
What's funny is that it has a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Did you know that?
What is it?
It's like 70-something%.
Jeez. But so do the prequels, and so does.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3, I think.
Well, because those are...
I think so.
Because those are fun films.
Check.
So, I mean...
Spider-Man 3 is a fun film. No.
I understand Steven Spielberg's passion about it. I would say he's done more for Indiana Jones than Ridley Scott has done for Aliens. So, I mean...
Yes. Well, Indiana Jones is it's a much bigger franchise.
And the last thing you want is Steven Spielberg speaking against your franchise. Let's say you want to go off and be brave and do something with Indiana Jones... And if Steven Spielberg says, I don't think they're doing the right idea, that's something you don't want.
Well, it's just like what I don't know if you guys saw this, but did you see what he said about The Force Awakens? He saw it.
Spielberg?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He said it's gonna be. He thinks it's gonna be the biggest movie ever made. That's what he said.
Like the most successful.
He's the biggest. That's the only thing he said. Biggest. We can take that however we want.
Financially, or
I don't know, but he said the biggest movie ever made. Wow. So what the comments about Indiana Jones? I would take him seriously because he's on many Mount Rushmore, many fans' Mount Rushmore of directors. So, I mean, if he doesn't want to recast him, he's not going to recast him, but it's not all up to him. It's now in the hands of Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
So,
but he's still Steven Spielberg, guys.
No, definitely.
Do you guys want to do one more before we do the Batman v Superman trailer? It's up to you. How's the time going?
Let's do the trailer.
Okay, so Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, this was the exciting thing I was talking about.
Yes, trailer number 2. It is here, guys. We're all going to talk about it. Jacob, why don't you go ahead and take this however you want to handle this?
I get to start?
You want to do however you want to go about this. Go ahead.
All right, look.
Wait, were you like, when did you see it last night? Like when it first released, or?
No, like at like 10.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just wondering. Like, were you waiting around for it?
Oh no, like I was sleeping during the day. So.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Was that the first Batman v Superman trailer? The last one?
No, that was the first full length.
Yeah,
we saw a teaser.
The last Batman v Superman trailer, I absolutely loved. It was my favorite trailer all year until the Civil War trailer came out. This trailer, I have issues with, and there's things in it that I absolutely love, and the very last shot makes me forgive everything.
Are you starting with net positives and negatives?
I don't know. I'm gonna jump around.
Okay.
But here's the thing. So I'm gonna preface this by saying the very last shot made me forgive all of my problems with the trailer. I absolutely loved it, and I think you guys know why.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I like when it first starts. I love the conversation between Bruce Wayne and
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent. Duh. What the hell is wrong with me?
Come on now.
Sorry, my mind is all over the place. But I love that how he's like, what are your thoughts on the Bat Vigilante? And Bruce Wayne just kind of smirks a little bit, and like they're back and forth. It's like they know who each other are, and I think they do.
They know who each other are. They know a lot more than they're letting on.
Yeah,
that's obvious, I think. But I love what he says about the Daily Planet too.
Yeah, and I've been rooting and looking forward to and very optimistic about Jesse Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor, but I did not feel it in this trailer. I did not like it.
It was bad.
I don't know.
Really?
It was bad.
I don't know why.
Oh man.
Here's the thing, and another thing. What did DC? I don't know who exactly came out and said it, but what did DC come out and say a year ago?
No comedy.
No comedy. We're not like Marvel. Our movies are dark. There's going to be no comedy. This whole trailer there's more comedy in this trailer than serious dramatic moments. Even though I love the end, I even like She With You. I thought She Was With You. Love that.
The line was great.
But it's fun. It's comedy.
Great.
It's a comedic moment.
Line was very good.
That's something they would say in the Avengers movies.
I took that quote with a grain of salt, though.
No,
you know DC has
that is
so.
something that Tony Stark says to Captain America.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
But
what
I'm saying like they came out and said no comedy in our movies, and
they did. They did.
I took it with a grain of salt too. I knew they didn't literally mean no comedy at all.
Right.
That's unrealistic. Life has comedy in it everywhere.
The Flash will have comedy.
Yeah, so I'm just saying like I love that moment, but I thought there was gonna be no comedy. So, anyways, they try to make Lex Luthor funny, and while I actually think overall, once the movie comes out, Lex Luthor is going to be a great character, and I'm still rooting for him. I'm still optimistic that Jesse Eisenberg was the right choice. But the scenes that they showed in this trailer, I did not like. And there's a whole bunch of little things that I loved and I didn't like, but I'll just go over 2 big points. I'm fine with them bringing Doomsday in, or their incarnation of Doomsday, but the way this trailer went down, it scares the hell out of me. It's the biggest worry I've had this whole time, that we're barely going to get to see Batman vs Superman. We're barely going to get to see them fight. And the real third act is them fighting Abomination, which
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
I was going to bring that up later.
It looks like Abomination.
They're twins. They look identical. It's like, this is the Abomination.
Look,
This is the Abomination after he gets released from jail, where he is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, he crossed.
Like, he is locked up right now, and this is the Abomination afterwards.
Oh, it's a big crossover. No, that's how bad it is that I said Abomination. So, look, I'm totally fine with Doomsday coming in. Like, if this movie was just called Dawn of Justice. Just called Dawn
after
of
this
Justice.
trailer, there's no longer Batman v Superman.
Exactly. I'm worried now. I'm scared we're gonna see them fight once or twice in the second act, and then the whole third act is going to be Lex Luthor creating Doomsday, and don't get me wrong, I'm dying. I am dying to see Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman fight together. I just wish it was in a Justice League movie, not in Batman vs Superman. And I absolutely love when Wonder Woman shows up and she blocks that with her shield. And is she with you? I thought she was with you. I loved that. So, like I said, that last moment made me forgive all of my worries. But those are my big issues and positives on the trailer.
Go ahead, Jake.
So when I first saw the trailer, like, I was cool with it. Like, I had said this when I posted it, but it's a big epic trailer. I mean, it's Batman, Superman together in a movie with Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor. It's like all these characters all in one movie. The movie that comic book fans have wanted to see for a very, very long time. But as I watch it more and more, I begin to hate it more and more.
Ooh, wow.
Like Jacob had said, the banter in the very beginning between Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne is great. It is so good.
And then somebody came in and ruined it.
I'll get to Jesse Eisenberg in a little bit, but this trailer had probably one of the best lines that I've ever seen featured in a movie.
I know.
And we have talked about this. Clark Kent is talking about the Bat Vigilante, and he's saying, like, you know, they're not agreeing on stuff. And Bruce Wayne comes back and says, maybe it's the Gotham in me. We've just had a bad history with freaks dressed like clowns.
Yes.
That is such a great line.
Oh my god.
Like, it had my hopes going for this trailer so much because
I just have one question really quick. So you said that's one of the best lines you ever heard. Do you think that's better than the Tony Stark line, "So was I"?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
that movie had more of an emotional impact on me. That's why.
But I mean, they're both great lines.
It's because I'm invested in those characters right now.
They're both great lines.
But yeah, Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, man, this is not the Lex I wanted to see. I don't want another comical billionaire playboy young kid who thinks he's the boss of everything coming in and wrecking everything. Like, I don't want it. He's a comical villain right now, and we've seen that Lex Luthor before. That's kind of what Kevin Spacey was. He wasn't this super serious badass guy, and that's kind of what I wanted and was expecting. But he's this young kid who thinks he owns everything, and, you know, is going around joking, and it just does not work for me at all. And it kind of sucks because Lex Luthor, other than the Joker, is probably one of the most formidable villains in comic book history. And, you know, there may be like they may be doing this on purpose, where this is how he starts out, and then he evolves into something later on.
That's what I think they're going for,
but that's what I wanted to see from the first place. Like, that's what I wanted to see. He's not scary. Like, Lex Luthor is supposed to be scary. He is not scary in this trailer. Yeah, it sucks. But I mean, like you had said, Jacob. After watching it, I now know the movie beat for beat. Beat for beat. The first act is banter between Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. Okay, they're finding out who each other is. They're meeting Lex Luthor. They're introducing all these characters in this movie. The second act, Batman and Superman go toe to toe. They fight once or twice, whatever. They go at it. The third act, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman come together to fight Doomsday. It's like, I don't need to go see the movie anymore. They released way too much in the freaking trailer. We talk about it all the time. Like, trailers release way too much. If you watch this trailer compared to Civil War, game over.
I think they should have saved Doomsday for the movie.
They should have They should not have even shown They should have ended the trailer where Lex Luthor says, "I'm taking it into my own hands," and they see him creating something, and the Batman Superman logo shows up.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
They should have never shown Wonder Woman. They should have never shown Doomsday, and they should have never shown the.
I don't mind that they showed Wonder Woman because
I think they should have held her off.
It's just we disagree all the time about this same thing. It's just like the Spider-Man thing. I think you have to show her to let the general audience know that she's there.
But why? It's Batman and Superman.
Yeah, no, you're right. See, this should be a Justice League movie. And it is.
Well,
it is.
The ending, the last 30 seconds of that trailer now washes the way they title Batman v Superman.
It's just.
It is now Dawn of Justice.
Justice League, Dawn of Justice.
This for the last 2 years.
Hey, you know what was a great line though? This is one of my positives, because my issue is even with that armor, like, Superman could kill Batman. Like, maybe not with the Krypton, but like, I love how he says, "If I wanted to, you'd be dead already." He says that in the trailer.
Yeah,
I love that line.
I also love when Batman says, "I'm gonna make you a man."
Because
That
that's
line's
so
great,
amazing.
too.
Because
That's a great line.
it makes sense because like.
And he's beating. And if you
And it
freeze
means
frame
Superman's going to be holding back, which I'm totally fine with because he'll crush Batman.
Well, if you freeze frame when he says, "I'm gonna make you a man," Batman is pummeling the hell out of him.
yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. For the last 2 years, we've been waiting to see Batman and Superman go toe to toe. Like this is what it's all been about. Batman and Superman, Batman versus Superman. That's all it's been about. This trailer washes away that entire idea. It is no longer about Batman and Superman. It is now about creating the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because all of us have been wanting to see, we're going to see it obviously, but it's going to be for about what? 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe?
Hey, maybe we're wrong.
We could be, but that's
It's
not
just
what
a
it seems
trailer.
like. That's not what it seems
I
like.
actually thought you were going to love the trailer because remember I messaged you earlier. Only one of the topics we're going to talk about has quality, and that's why I said that because overall I was disappointed with this trailer, but that last moment I absolutely loved it.
And it's funny because it started off great. There's all these great things going on. Obviously, the fighting between Batman and Superman looks epic. You know, they're going toe to toe. It's what we wanted to see. But you did not need to show Doomsday or Wonder Woman. And speaking of Doomsday, like we said, he looks like Abomination. He looks like a freaking Ninja Turtle.
That's what a lot of people were saying.
Well,
the thing is, Zod becomes Doomsday.
yeah, I like that idea, but
so it has to have because it has to have a human type face behind the monster.
Doomsday does. Period. And if you put him upside to if you see the comic book version of Doomsday, he does have a human feature.
Okay.
But this carnation doesn't look anything like his comic.
I'm
book.
fine with that.
No,
he doesn't have to look like the comic books.
Well, the fact that it looks like Doomsday though, it ruins it. Or
See, they're one and the same.
Yeah,
so.
and there's a ton of more things I could talk about. I do like the Wonder Woman footage. I think it was cool that she was how she was introduced and the line that we had talked about. Obviously, the scene at the end is great.
That shield must be pretty damn powerful.
Yeah, the three of them that are together is really cool, but it didn't need to be shown. I don't think.
Imagine if we saw that moment in the movie, we didn't know it was coming.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
Look, I love that moment. I wish I would have saved it. Yeah.
And also, there's another scene in there. It looks like it's kind of a dream sequence, which is the preview we saw the other night.
Yeah. With
the flying bugs or animals or something, whatever they are, where Batman is taking on Superman soldiers. That scene looks like it's gonna be pretty cool.
Oh, you think that's a dream sequence?
I think it's a dream sequence.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a dream sequence. I don't think it's happening in real life.
So even when he pulls off his mask and he's changed up, you think that's a dream sequence?
Yeah.
I hope not, because I think that's freaking awesome. I have a feeling because we know Clark Kent has it out for Batman from the beginning.
I think it's a dream sequence. I think something happens where Lex Luthor.
Oh man, I really hope not.
I think it's involved with Lex. And
you want it to be a dream sequence? I want it to be real.
I don't want the scene where they're inside the cave to be a dream sequence.
Oh, okay, but the fighting the soldiers.
The fact with the flying bugs or whatever they are, it's a dream sequence.
I didn't even see any flying bugs.
Yeah, it's a quick shot.
Those gargoyle looking.
Yeah, it's a quick shot. They have wings and they're picking up soldiers and.
Oh, maybe that, but no, the lair scene.
Well, that's the same scene because Batman's in his desert outfit.
Because I imagine Superman's what the hell do you think you're doing? Just snatches him up and throws him in and chains him up.
The
know?
preview that they released 2 days ago got me really stoked to see the trailer, but that scene wasn't even in the trailer.
Yeah.
Which kind of bugged me.
I think it was just a sneak peek for the movie, not the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Gio, we've babbled on and on about this.
I think you both are entirely insane. For this trailer. I loved.
I didn't hate the trailer.
Now there are some things I agree with you guys on. Maybe they shouldn't have shown Doomsday, but honestly, what other threat could be big enough to where Batman and Superman would put aside their feud and join forces for this?
But why do we need to know that they put aside their feud? Now we know that they come out okay.
Oh, we've known this since the beginning.
It's but we knew that not normal fans.
Yeah.
People don't know that they could be fighting and something could why do we need to know that? Okay, they put aside their difference. Now they're gonna go fight somebody.
Even if we do know it, we don't have to be shown it.
Okay. All right. I don't think normal fans even care that Doomsday is. They don't even know who Doomsday is.
That's right.
So they're like, "Oh, who is this guy?"
The
that
long
they're
lost brother of Leo and Ralph.
All right. So, guys, we've known this whole entire time what the whole movie is going to be about.
Well, it's called Dawn of Justice.
Dawn of Justice.
The beginning of the Justice League.
They should just cross out the name Batman v Superman and go double colon Dawn of Justice.
I mean, what did you guys think was gonna happen? You thought that they were gonna fight, and it's Dawn of Justice.
No, not at all.
No.
That's not what I'm saying.
We're just upset that they showed it.
Yes. I'm upset that the trailer showed it all. Now, imagine watching that moment in the theaters.
But didn't the plot synopsis kind of tell us everything anyway?
We didn't know up to they never confirmed that Doomsday was in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, they said another threat arises.
But they never knew. We never knew it was Doomsday.
But I'm talking about everything else leading up to Doomsday. We knew that was going to happen. That they were going to find out who they were. That they were going to fight.
Yeah, but it's the
they
fact
were going to
that
eventually come together.
But it's the fact that we now know 4 months into the movie's release.
But it's like
we still have 4 months.
Yeah, but
We only have
too
4
long
months.
of a trailer. Okay, the last trailer was 4 minutes. This one is 3 minutes. That's 7 minutes already.
The last one was 4 minutes.
4 minutes. No, 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh,
but I'm saying
Jesus.
4 minutes. But I just feel like it didn't bother me because I already knew everything that was going to happen. They're going to fight. They're going to come together. Something big's going to happen. They're going to fight something. And I mean, for the longest time, people were saying, "What Darkseid?"
Well, no, Darkseid is the Justice League villain,
or
planned Justice League villain.
Yeah, that's going to be for Justice League. Who else?
Well, we think anyway. It's not
who else is there?
Well,
I mean, maybe Brainiac.
You're saying who could be a threat?
Well, here's the thing that I'm cool with Doomsday coming in at the end and whatnot. But for those, I mean, I don't know if you guys know or not, but Doomsday is one of the biggest Superman villains.
Well, he kills
ever.
Superman in the
He's
comics.
the only villain to ever kill Superman.
Yeah.
He's gonna get 15 minutes of screen time, then he's done.
Well, we don't know that they're gonna kill him. I mean,
but
I hope
where else is he gonna go?
I hope Wonder Woman kills him.
Where else is he gonna go?
maybe something.
I hope Wonder Woman cuts his head off with her sword.
I think it should have been a different villain at the end to bring him together. Like I get it, Doomsday, you need 3 of them to bring him down, obviously. Mm-hmm. But to give this kind of character only 15 minutes.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because he doesn't actually look like Doomsday, so it's okay. But
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I didn't
rushing
mind
everything.
Well, no, because again, the last trailer featured what? A lot of Batman and Superman fighting. We know that they're going to get their time to, trade blows.
yeah, the second act, and then they come together in the third act.
Pretty much the second act. Pretty much the entire I mean, how much fighting are we asking for? Like 15 minutes of worth of fighting. This is going to be a 2.5 hour movie, I presume, right? I'm not worried about them being short-handed as far as fighting. I think they're going to get their blows.
No, I'm not worried about it at all. I just think that
I am.
Well, I mean, I guess it worries me a little bit, but it just goes back to it's the fact that we already know.
It's called Batman v Superman.
Exactly. But if you watch the trailer, if you go, it's literally first act. The first act of the trailer is Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne. The second act of the trailer is Superman and Batman. The third act of the trailer is Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman against Doomsday. There's the movie. It's
excites the hell
yeah,
out
but
of
what
me.
else were you guys expecting? You already knew this was going to happen.
Gio, let me ask you this then.
Go ahead.
So, if we had known ahead of time for Star Wars that Luke was going to come in at the very end of the movie and save the day, and they showed it in the trailer, would you be okay with that?
I would not, and I'll tell you why.
Exactly.
I'll tell you why.
No. There it is. Why is this any different?
Because Star Wars is already established history. Because we already have.
That doesn't matter. It's a movie. It's still a movie.
You're comparing Doomsday to Luke Skywalker. Nope.
I'm saying that the style, what the ending of the movie is and what trailers show. Okay, what about Captain America: Civil War?
No. I am agreeing with you that Doomsday. No, I'm agreeing with you that Doomsday. I'm saying they should not have shown Doomsday, but are we really surprised that
I am?
It would be who else as a villain is on the level of Doomsday?
Well, nobody. That's why it makes it so dumb that they're using him for 15 minutes.
Well, we don't know. He could be a recurring character, and as far as his look, some people were saying that might not be his final form. That he might get stronger.
I think it's right when he gets created, he breaks out. That's what they showed it. He burst through the building.
I mean,
he's just kind of running wild. I'm wondering if
maybe he collects more kryptonite.
General Zod's mission. I wonder if his consciousness is going to be in there somewhere.
Oh, I think it is.
Because that would make sense. And then he'd be after Superman. And that would make total sense.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm cool with Zod being turned into Doomsday. I just hate the fact that they showed him.
Well, I think if I had to put money on it, I'm saying they defeat Doomsday and lock him up. That's
well,
what
I hope they chop his head off,
I mean. I hope Wonder Woman chops his head off.
or like Batman or Superman snaps his neck again. Can you imagine that? A ditto moment. Hey, I've seen this moment before.
Or just rip his head off of his body.
Rub the chin. Wait, I remember this.
I'm curious what Batman's gonna do in this fight.
Oh, he's holding a freaking gun.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
We've never seen Batman holding a gun. He's holding a damn gun.
No guns.
I want to talk about.
Oh no, that's one thing I want to talk about though. What about his voice in the suit? There's no deep voice. It's his normal voice.
I love that.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's the first time we've ever seen it.
It's not too over the top.
It's
not
perfect. Like there's nothing. There's
But
no
also,
deep,
There's no throat
he knows
cancer going
Superman
on.
already knows who he is at that point.
but
too.
I don't think that's gonna change because we've seen, like there's no indication that we've seen from the trailer.
And I
the
also don't
footage.
think that's a real gun. Like a specialized gun.
Probably a knockout.
Well, he was
gun
probably
or
going to use it to take down
something. Probably like a
Superman.
knockout gun or something.
He's
like
going to
that,
use it to take down
Well, we've
Superman.
seen his Batmobile's got some
Because
kind of gun on.
he needs technology to fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To fight, not to fight like the Joker, but to fight Doomsday and Superman.
Well,
And
we don't know about Joker. Like that guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah, they're crazy. Yeah, speaking of Batman, how about when he cusses in the trailer?
well, they don't.
Oh, that's cool.
No, he
That's
says
cool.
he
Yeah.
says you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
cool. That's
oh, yeah.
cool.
And
That's
he
really
he
cool.
starts saying shit, but they cut it off like right away.
Well, I mean, you got to remember though.
Because when he sees Doomsday, he's like, oh
He's been Batman for 20 years already, and now we figure he's been taking a break for what, like 10 years maybe?
I love
5,
that
6
line.
years?
That son of a bitch brought the war to us because it
Yes.
shows his anger and his rage and
So
his hate towards Superman.
He just doesn't care anymore. He's gonna do what he needs to do, and he doesn't give a crap about anything but doing that.
I think he's going to be the best Batman yet.
Oh, I've said it from
Ben
the
Affleck.
moment he was casted.
Here's the thing. I love this trailer because we got to see a lot of Bruce Wayne. And even just like Bruce Wayne through Batman, you know?
I've said it from the very beginning when he was casted. I think he'll be the best Batman and Bruce Wayne we've ever
He's
seen.
perfect. He's like 6'5" or something like that. Batman's supposed to be, or Bruce Wayne is supposed to be the most physically fit, most like good-looking guy in the world. And that's what Ben Affleck is, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's another reason why I'm not too worried about Batman and Superman, being, not getting enough fight is because this movie has taken so many inspirations from The Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller's. And so, I mean, DC would have to be the stupidest studio in the world if they're just going to title it Batman v Superman and not have them fight,
we know they fight, but
for for
how much do
however
they
long
fight?
you guys are hoping.
We've always wondered about Civil War and like how serious the fighting is going to be. Like we know this is going to be serious and all, but like how serious is it just for them to actually come together within like 20 minutes of the movie left? Like, okay, let's go fight Doomsday now.
Well, they have to come together.
But
they don't
like,
have a choice. It's not I'm mad at you. I'm not going to help.
But I'm saying
Doomsday.
I'm saying does someone die or like?
Well, just the fact that Doomsday's right in front of them, they have to fight it. They have to take him down.
That's kind of like.
Well, because while they're fighting, we have to assume that Lex Luthor is creating this monster in his laboratory, right? And then like all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. He says, "If what does he say? Like
if man won't take down
the devil will,
the alien, then the devil will."
I think Batman is working for, or Lex Luthor and Batman are
first,
in some kind of
because they both hate Superman.
Yeah. I want to talk about Lex Luthor real quick, and then that's it for me. So you guys so far aren't liking this Lex Luthor.
Well, I liked him in the first trailer. I did.
because he wasn't so jokey.
I liked him holding his drink and like the red capes are coming. I liked that.
Yeah.
I didn't like. I don't know. Like, oh, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent. That's how he sounded to me. Honestly.
Great grip. You should not fight this guy. I'm like, come on.
That was a
really?
funny moment when he shakes his hand. He's like, whoa.
Like, come on.
It's like he knows.
It's too comical.
It's like they all three know.
It's way too comical for this kind of movie. This movie's supposed to be like.
How could they write that, know that that's in their script, and then come out and say no comedy?
This is what worries me about Zack Snyder.
He's pulling the same thing that Yoda did.
No, I want to know why do you like this Lex Luthor so far?
You compare Luke Skywalker to Doomsday.
You can't compare Lex Luthor to Yoda.
What was Yoda doing in the beginning of Empire Strikes Back?
You cannot compare.
He was being comical, but deep down inside, hidden.
Yoda has been a dude living on his own for like dozens of years.
He's not just Gazabird. Lex Luthor doesn't live on his own.
Well, Lex.
Okay, that's come on.
No,
Jesus.
I could see he's lonely probably, and he hates himself because they're like he probably doesn't have any like real relationships with anybody.
Right,
so he has this anger and is obsessed with Superman.
But for me,
I wonder why do you like him?
I like this one because one, it's different. Okay, but that's not my main reason why. It's different than any of the Lex Luthors that we've had before.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Spacey, great Lex Luthor. I would have, if you ask me right now, who would I prefer between Kevin Spacey and Jesse Eisenberg? I'd take Kevin Spacey.
Did you ever watch the show Smallville?
No, but I know that guy who
Michael
does.
Rosenbaum did a fantastic job as Lex Luthor. Fantastic.
This one is
And
different.
You know why? Because he was never comical.
But I mean, it's a show, man. Like, anyways, okay. So this Lex Luthor is different, first of all, and I think I'm not talking about you guys, but I think fans out there are always afraid of what's different. They're like, if it doesn't match to in their mind what Lex Luthor should be, because the comics have so many different incarnations of Lex Luthor as a person. Maybe not as physically small as Jesse Eisenberg, but all right. So he's different, and two, it goes as far as what they're going for with this Lex Luthor. I think it fits. They want this young, energetic, billionaire type guy who is physically puny, but he can beat you with his brain. When you think about that,
that's what when I first casted him as Lex Luthor, that's what I wanted. I wanted a guy who was intelligent.
He's gonna outsmart you.
Yes,
every time.
Who was intellectually, who was gonna beat you intellectually.
and so
that's what I want.
And so Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor fits that description for you guys.
He does, but
okay.
When we talked about the Civil War trailer last week or whatever it was, we had said that if they had shoved in Ant-Man in that trailer, it would have thrown us off, right? It's exactly what Lex Luthor did. It threw me off from the entire thing that was going
because
forward.
that conversation was so good, and then he comes out of nowhere.
And then Lex Luthor's kind of he comes in and just drops him.
But look, I'm okay with this. Like you said earlier, if they're introducing him, they're showing us that he's immature and he's very spoiled and he wants to control everything. And they take him from this point and they develop his character. And by Superman 3, by Man of Steel 3, he's a totally different guy and he's matured and he's he's the Lex Luthor that we know.
It better be by Superman 2.
Because we know that he's coming. His next appearance will be in Suicide Squad. Maybe he's a different person then.
I want to see him.
We don't know how big of a part
I want to
he
see
has.
him develop, and I'm okay with it because, like I said, I didn't like the way Luke was portrayed in A New Hope when we first meet him. Just for example, he's whiny and he's annoying, but Luke's one of our greatest heroes we've ever known.
About Luke.
I'm saying over those 3 movies, he develops and he grows and matures.
I think they meant to make him like that in the beginning because,
and that's why they're meaning to make Lex Luthor annoying in this movie
I'm crossing
on
my
purpose,
fingers.
so you hate him at first.
We don't know,
and then and then he develops and becomes more mature. The events of this movie is gonna change something in him, and he's like, "All right, I'm not effing around no more. I'm seriously out for Superman. Now.
I hope so.
I'm gonna go after him myself and build my suit and go after him.
I don't want him to be a. I hope he does that because I don't want him to be a spoiled brat.
Exactly, and I think he's just going to develop.
He's a straight
over time.
spoiled brat in this.
And the last point is that in the previous trailer we saw him being serious and a little sinister, right?
Yeah.
The red capes are coming, and talking to the senator and whatnot. And in this trailer, it shows a little bit of comic side. So this is a guy of different layers. He's not going to be just
fine.
straight.
Well, and it kind of balances it out because we know Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne aren't going to be cracking jokes or they're not going to be comedic characters. I'm fine with Loki's a comedic character, right? So what if they're going for something like that? They want him to be the comedic relief, and not in a bad way, in a good way.
They're copying Marvel and everything.
No, I'm not. I'm just giving an example. But one more positive I have is the look of Wonder Woman is amazing. I think it's perfect. But here's the thing. I don't know how Gal Gadot's going to act. I can't speak on that. Putting that aside, just the way she looks. Because, all right, I know all comic book fans, they want the busty Wonder Woman with big boobs. I don't care about that. I like the Wonder Woman from Justice League War, the cartoon movie. Have you seen that?
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's thin, and what does it matter if she's busty or thin, because she has powers. So it's not because she's bigger she's going to be stronger, she has powers. I love that Wonder Woman from Justice League War, and I think she looks amazing as Wonder Woman.
She owns that last shot.
She looks perfect. Look at that look on her face.
She owns that last shot.
So this made me more excited for Wonder Woman.
I think she's
that.
Gonna own it. Yeah.
I think she's great for a role like this. I don't know if she's gonna be able to carry her own movie. I hope so. I want her to.
I think she's.
But this makes me feel a lot better about Wonder Woman.
Because you look at Batman and Superman, and they're just looking at each other, and Wonder Woman's like, "No, I got this."
I love that
you guys
Batman has
follow
a
me.
gun. I love that he has a gun. Hey, and he's not in the armor.
No. That's why I think they already came to handshakes and they went after Doomsday.
Okay.
Jake, what do you think about that last shot? Like, what stands out?
I mean, obviously it's a great shot.
What stands out to you? Like, is there?
Obviously the three of them. It's the DC Trinity. It's the
I love that she's in the middle too.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that.
the Trinity. Well, that always happens actually. When the three of them are together, she's always in the middle.
Really?
Yeah,
but not like when the Justice League is all together. It's either Batman or Superman in the middle.
It's Superman, and then Batman's on the right hand side, and Wonder Woman's on the left hand side. But this is kind of the thing that comic book fans have always wanted. The three of them together. They're the Trinity. They're three of probably the top 5 most popular characters of all time in comic books, other than like Spider-Man and some other characters.
Wolverine, maybe.
Yeah. So I think Wonder Woman's look is great. I would have liked to see a little bit more color because she's a little bit more vibrant in the comics in past incarnations.
This is
but
Zack Snyder, Man of Steel.
This could very well be the exact costume that she was given all those years ago and just never updated it. Yeah. So maybe
maybe in the past, like if we're gonna get flashbacks in the 20s,
maybe it's a worn down.
It's bright
costume.
Colored. Like, you know how Captain America looks silly
in the Winter Soldier
40s?
when he got his old suit.
But then Captain America's new costume looks sick. So that's kind of like
maybe she's got an update.
And I think it's the lighting too. I think there is the red and blue in there. You
I
just
hope
can't
so
really see it.
Because that's what she is. And I mean, the look is great, and she looks great as it. I mean, she looks great as the character. It's a great shot. But out of the three, Batman's the one that I'm looking forward to the most because this is the exact Batman I've always wanted. I think Ben Affleck's gonna absolutely kill it. It's gonna be the best Batman ever made. I think Zack Snyder and both Ben Affleck have a great grip on the idea of this character because they're both huge fans. Ben Affleck, he read the character growing up.
Yeah, he has his own Batcave in his house.
He's a huge fan, so I think it's gonna be the greatest incarnation of Batman we've ever seen. But I mean, Wonder Woman, she does look good. So
just 2 final questions for me. Does that shot give you guys confidence in Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman?
Yes.
And do you guys? No, I'm asking. Well, I mean, yeah. Like,
No, it doesn't give me because I haven't seen her act yet. She hasn't said a single word.
Yeah, she hasn't. Yeah,
so right. I need to see her act. Like the look is great, obviously, but looks on everything. Like she needs to be able to act as Wonder Woman.
Well, she gives that facial expression. That's part of acting.
Yeah, but we haven't seen
great
her
facial
act.
expression.
But
I think
she
looks fierce. Like
Wonder
she's
Woman
ready
is
to
someone
go.
who anybody can give that kind of facial expression. Wonder Woman is someone who stands toe to toe with Superman. Like that's who she is, and she needs to be able to act that way. And I just need to be able to see. I need to see her act to be able to.
I agree.
Tell.
Like I said, I'm just saying the look
because
alone.
the look is great because she has her own movie coming.
Yeah.
And if she can't act, if she cannot act, then that movie's in trouble.
I can guarantee you she's working on her acting.
Oh no, for sure,
every day.
We've seen it 100 times before.
Years.
We've seen it plenty of times, but this movie's going to be the test. And if it does not work, if they do not clinch onto her like people are hoping they do, then Wonder Woman movie's in trouble.
I mean, she has all the help she could possibly get. She has 2 directors working with her, and Zack Snyder and Ben Affleck.
I'm sure Ben Affleck has a big hand in helping her.
And do you guys think Ben Affleck maybe helped Zack Snyder with the?
Oh no, he was.
I mean, he brought in Chris Terrio.
He wasn't titled as.
I guarantee he's like co-director kind of.
This wasn't his title, but he was basically the second unit director.
Right.
I bet you if Zack Snyder was not on the scene directing, Batman had a hand in directing the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And don't forget Chris Terrio,
It's just easier to say than Ben Affleck, Batman. It's just a lot easier.
Just like Tony Stark,
Yeah, it's just easier.
You know what's funny is like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I said that Rogue One was my most anticipated. Batman vs Superman is my most anticipated movie of 2016 because it's Batman v Superman. We've never seen this before. Look, I'm so excited for Rogue One. It's number 2 by a long shot. But even though I was disappointed with the trailer overall, I realized that this is the movie I'm looking forward to the most, more than any movie next year. And there's a lot of movies coming
Don't get me
out
wrong, I'm really excited to see this all go down. Like super excited, but it's my number 3 for next year. It's after Civil War and Rogue One and Civil War.
I got $5
because
that says both of you.
Well, because
that says what?
I'm afraid that it's going to be more focused on the brawling than the storytelling.
Chris
I'm fine
Terrio
with
gives
No,
me hope.
I'm not saying
Like,
that.
that's why I'm excited.
I'm not saying storytelling can't have the brawling, but I don't want another. What's an example?
Like, you don't want the story to be just an afterthought.
Well, like Zack Snyder's Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
Something that went all out on action and didn't tell the story too well.
I think David S. Goyer's script was exactly that way. And then Ben Affleck came in
so.
and he was like, "Look, I'm not being a part of this unless I bring in my writer
Well, see,
from
doesn't
Argo."
that give you confidence? They brought him in to touch up the script.
It does, but we've seen writers touch comic book properties
Yeah.
before who've written Oscar-worthy
Yeah.
stuff.
No,
and
you're
it
right.
hasn't gone well. So.
You're right.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited all as hell for the movie. Like, extremely excited. It's Batman and Superman. But the trailer has kind of dumbed me down a little bit as far as what to expect.
Well, $5 says the Apocalypse trailer for X-Men kind of changes your guys' anticipation for where movies are as far as number 1, number 3, and
I
all
think
that.
it's.
I think it's going to change.
I don't think anything's going to take away Batman v Superman because I've seen X-Men movies
It's Batman
before.
v Superman.
I've seen X-Men movies before. I've seen Star Wars movies before. I've seen Marvel movies before. I've never seen Batman v Superman. I've never seen these 3 characters or even those 2 on screen together. So that's why it's my most anticipated.
Gotcha.
Right now, I have Deadpool above X-Men,
Deadpool's badass.
and I don't even think the first trailer for X-Men will change that. Like, I am so
you don't know.
insanely excited for Deadpool.
Who's
Like,
not?
It's just, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. That trailer comes out in like less than 2 weeks.
No
So.
love for Gambit. Damn.
Gambit's not until 2017. It got changed.
Really?
It got pushed back.
When?
You guys didn't hear about that?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it got pushed
When did it
back.
happen? I heard about Fantastic Four 2 being
A
canceled.
couple weeks
but-
ago, it got pushed back.
Oh, well, that's going to do it for our Apocaflix Movie News Podcast. Thank you all for listening. I'm your host, Jacob Bartley, and you can find me on Twitter at Governor Bartley and anywhere online, Jacob Bartley. I want to thank Gio for gathering the news topics for us today. Where can they find you online, man?
You guys can find me on Twitter at GeorgiaRamos24 and ApocaflixMovies.com every day.
And Qui-Gon Jake, where can they find you online?
Twitter, Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake. You can find our Facebook page, Apocaflix Movies, and make sure to check out our Padawan podcast. We are about to jump into our episode 3 and episode 4 review of Star Wars leading up to The Force Awakens. That should be up probably sometime tomorrow, so make sure to check that out.
And please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. We would really appreciate it. And hit that like button if you enjoyed this podcast. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week.